Hey guys, today we're going to look at some more retro devices. This is the Casio Cassiopeia BE300, which came out in 2001. Believe it or not, this was my first real electronic device. I know I had the Cyberco, I had the Sharp Memo Master, but this is the first one that can sort of be really considered a computer. It is running a stripped down version of Windows CE 3. So you can't really install all the Windows CE applications on it. But you know, me being me, as a child, you know, I was very curious. I wanted to know more, and I still do. I still want to know more about everything, right? And how to make different applications and games run on stuff. So when I was a kid, I tried to modify this a lot by trying to install hacked versions of different ROMs on it. And this is actually quite hackable, so it actually had a pretty dedicated community around it. And the reason I had this device is because it was a lot cheaper than a lot of the Pocket PCs at the time. If you wanted to buy a top-end Pocket PC like a Dell Axim or a Casio, one of the higher-end Casio Cassiopeias, or if you want to buy HP iPAQ or a compact iPAQ at the time, I guess, they were really expensive. They were running upwards of like $400. And then there were the Palm Pilots, which were a lot cheaper, and the handspring visors. But, you know, I wanted to have the color display, and I wanted to have all the Windows CE kind of look and feel. I didn't like Palm OS that much at the time. So that's why I went for this computer. 16 megs of RAM, 166 megahertz MIPS CPU. And, yeah, this display, 320 by 240, but it has 65 million colors. It's a TFT screen, obviously. Look at this device. Charges with a proprietary charger. It actually came with this dock, right? This dock is necessary. You needed to use this dock to transfer files to the Casio, right? It's not like today, you know, you just take a smartphone, you connect a cable to your computer or whatever. No, back in the day, you had these proprietary connectors, so you had to use this dock to connect to your PC and transfer, and that's how you transfer your files over. And it's not even just plug and play. You had to install a custom software to do it, right? So people these days, kids these days have it so much easier, but back in the day, yeah, you had to install like a custom software. You had to use ActiveSync or HotSync or whatever to sync devices, sync your files over to this device, right? And only certain files would work, and like, you know, driver issues and all that, Windows XP or Windows 98 or whatever, compatibility. All right. 32,768 color LCD. They lied to me. They said 65 million. Wasn't it? 32,768. Okay. I thought there were more colors than that. This is correct. 166 megahertz MIPS CPU. Microsoft Windows powered. That's what caught me into it. I saw in the back here, Microsoft Windows powered. Wow, you mean this runs the same operating system as my computer? Well, no, not exactly. It's a really stripped down version of Microsoft Windows, right? It was running an embedded version of Microsoft Windows, which is CE, and not even CE, right? It's running a stripped down version of CE. So that means you gotta mod it to put a custom operating system. Usually people went with Xpod, which was this popular operating system mod for this device, but I just kept it the same because I was afraid of breaking. I did end up breaking this device, by the way. This is not the same one. I did end up breaking it because I tried to install Xpod and I messed up one of the steps or whatever, and it ended up breaking my device. So that was the end of my device. I ended up breaking it. But yeah, this is look at this here, made in Japan. Don't see that very much anymore. There's a compact flash slot here. I actually expanded this with 32 megs of memory. I remember that. Put 32 megs of memory here, and then I put a whole bunch of like ROMs and emulators, I think, on here. Yeah, try to install like a custom OS on it. Didn't really work. All right, let's start this up. This is a docking connector and a headphone jack, of course. If I remember this, oh, this is the power button, right? So you gotta do this. Initializing. Oh man. This is gonna bring back memories when I was in high school. I think I got this around 2002. Probably around 2002. This came out 2001. Canada has this retail store called Grand and Toy. I think I got this at a Grand and Toy. Okay, so it comes with a stylus. So you gotta calibrate the screen. This being Windows CE. So exactly the same as my Jornada. You gotta customize that. Okay. Okay. Set the time. Yeah. Okay. Here it is. This was the operating system. This is the original operating system, and you can tell that it looks very different from Windows CE. Doesn't have the desktop or anything, and that's because this is a modified version of Windows CE, and it's not fully compatible with all the Windows CE apps. That's why you had to mod it to actually get the full compatibility. Okay, so this was okay. So we got some buttons down here. This is the OK button. So this is for OK. This is for escape. This is for the main menu. Go back to the menu, and then this is for navigation. And of course, this is a resistive touchscreen. We do have shortcuts here. All right, so this is the calendar app, and I actually did use this back in the day. Believe it or not, I did use it when I was like 13 or 14 years old. And my friends would be like, what the heck is that? What are you using? I was pretending to be some kind of professional here. Oh, handwriting. Here we go. Yeah, it's good enough, I guess. Yeah, because this was before, obviously way before smartphones and before kids really had a lot of cell phones back in the day. Oh, this is for email. Yeah, this is before a lot of kids had cell phones. Most people didn't have cell phones. Most kids didn't have cell phones at that time. So my friends would see me with this device and be like, what the heck is that, right? They'd never seen anything like it. It's because I'm like a super geek, right? It was one of, a kid with a pocket PC. I mean, come on. You can look at the program memory. Oh, I would always look at this memory and I'd be like, how much do I have here? I don't even know. They don't really show you. It's just this bar, right? I don't know how much this exactly is, but I have to look at that every time before I install an application. Owner information. Yep. I was so proud of owning this device back in the day. I was the only kid on my block with a pocket PC. Wow. Well, a really stripped down version anyways. Calculator, right, very basic. A heck of a lot better than my Sharp Memo Master though. The colors were actually quite good. I like the 65,000 colors here, whatever, however many I had. Oh, look at that. Look at that. The kid's so happy carrying that. This, oh, no audible player. Internet backup. And yeah, you can just add to the screen whenever you install apps. And there were some apps for this, just for this device that Casio had developed and that other people had developed. Of course, they weren't like really Windows CE apps, because like I said, this isn't fully compatible with Windows CE. But people did develop just for this device, and there were a bunch of apps that I installed for it. You can go on the internet as well. I think you had some way, I don't think this had Wi-Fi, but there was a way to connect it to the internet, I remember. I think you maybe had to connect it through your computer or something. But yeah, all that was there. Yeah, and I would download a bunch of games for it and stuff. I remember doing all that. And then of course, I was so sad when I ended up breaking my device trying to install I think it was Xpod. I was trying to install something on it. But anyways, that's the Casio BE300. Had so many good memories on it. See, bye. Yeah, good memories. All right, and now let's take a look at the HP iPAQ 210. This was one of the last models of Pocket PC ever released. This was released in 2008. So this actually came out after the iPhone, after the first iPhone came out. And yeah, this is one of the last iPAQs, one of the most powerful too. 624 hertz Intel X-Skill processor, 128 megs of RAM. So this was the top of the line iPAQ and one of the last, because after 2008, companies didn't really make standalone Pocket PCs anymore. They started making Windows Mobile phones. Those are still around, but they stopped making standalone devices that couldn't call anyone. This was one of the last standalone devices. It has a removable battery in the back. Charges with mini USB, headphone jack right there, docking port right there. Right, PDAs all had docking ports back then. And on top, you actually have two different storage options here, expandable storage options. You got the full-size SD, right, still in use today, and you got the older standard, the compact flash slot as well. So compact flash was widely used before SD became standard, and here you have both options, which is really nice. Yeah. Right, let's boot it up. This is the power button, right? So let's boot it up. All right, and this is Windows 6 Classic. It is very similar to Windows Mobile. The only difference is it doesn't have any phone functionality. So it's only a PDA, and like I said, this was probably one of the very last devices that was strictly a PDA and didn't have any phone functionality. I have showed a bit of this device working already, but just to show you guys again, you know, you have your standard stuff here. You have, yeah, this is Excel to go, I guess. Yeah. There is no physical keyboard here, so it's kind of a pain, I guess, for entering in text. You had to use this on-screen keyboard, which of course you got to use a stylus for, just like every other device at the time. This Windows button, Active Sync. This is very similar to Hot Sync for Palm, Active Sync for Windows Mobile. Bluetooth Phone Manager, Internet Explorer, Pocket Internet Explorer, of course. Internet Explorer Mobile, yeah. This probably would be based on i7, I think, at the time. Photo Smart Mobile. This is our pictures. Can we swipe? No, we just gotta press the button. Can't swipe. On some devices, you could swipe with a resistor touchscreen, like my Arcos and Creative Zen, I think, but not this one. Here's Windows Media Player. Yeah, remember Windows Media Player, guys? This was my jam. This and Winamp and Real Player were my jam back in the early 2000s. Yeah, of course you could play music and video. WMV files, remember those? WMA files. Yeah, you had to convert. Remember Windows Media Center? There was a Windows Media Center, and then there was a special PMP operating system based on Windows C called Portable Media Center, and they only took in WMA and WMV files, which you know are Windows Media Player files. Oh man, that brings me back. File Explorer, which is very similar to Windows Explorer, actually. It's like a pocket Windows Explorer, which is kind of cool. Okay, so you got, this is the calendar button. Again, Palm has this too. But I would think the Windows Mobile interface is actually a lot, to me it's actually, maybe it's because this display is a lot bigger. Yeah, it looks better than the Palm. Then you have this is just the OK button, and this is navigation, obviously. Up. I wish they had a dedicated back button. They don't have a back button, just the OK button. This is the email button. Back when you had a dedicated button just for email. Programs, yep. And again, just like Palm OS, Windows Mobile, you can install different apps and stuff on it. It's a calculator. Yeah. Again, I really wish they had a dedicated back button. Games. Good old Solitaire. Works about as well here as any other device. Again, I do like, this screen is pretty good. Compared to, this is probably the best, yeah, this is probably the most powerful PDA with the best display I've ever had. Compared to all the other ones I've shown you guys so far, and it makes sense because this is the latest one. It's from 2008. But this is probably the most powerful PDA I have, and also the one with the best display. I mean, the resolution color is actually quite nice on this. I wouldn't say they're high resolution, but if you were to use like a PDA, and you know no one uses PDA anymore, obviously, but for collectors like me, right? if you wanted to have the latest and greatest PDA before they were like discontinued, this would be the one to get, the HP iPAQ 210. This is the most powerful and the latest PDA that was available until PDAs were no longer used by people. Messenger, and this is Windows Live Messenger. Yeah, good old Windows Live Messenger. I missed that. Now it's just Skype, but it's not the same. You know, look at this. You know, every time you change one of these, it'd be like, you know, Mark is signed in, or you'll see that notification on your desktop. Yeah, I missed that. All right. Ooh, this is a old Windows Media Player interface. You guys remember that? Pretty sweet. And you had the visualizations and everything playing. I don't have any songs to show you right now, but yeah, notes, pictures, video. Yeah, we already saw that. Actually, I wonder, they don't have any preloaded video, huh? Yeah, guess not. Very fast and responsive. A lot faster than my Palm. You can even do remote desktop on this thing. Yeah, I would say that, you know, compared to Palm OS and Windows Mobile were kind of the two main smartphone competing OS, and BlackBerry, you know, obviously. I like Windows Mobile the best, maybe just because I'm kind of a Windows guy, but yeah, this is very cool for professionals and stuff. Like remote desktop, that's a really cool feature, right? You could just have that in the palm of your hand back then. That's really cool. And yeah, obviously there's apps and stuff for all these different devices, Palm or Windows Mobile or BlackBerry, but I think I like Windows Mobile the best, just my personal preference. Just me being a Windows guy though. Just seeing this kind of interface and stuff, just yeah, it's like very XP like, right? Very Windows XP. And it kind of just brings me back. But anyways guys, the HP iPAQ, the very last standalone PDA, and probably the most powerful PDA before they stopped making them. And that's it. Thanks for watching.